Hello and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Good morning, Aman. Looks like you are there. Today's editorial, before we go to the analysis, any editorial when you read, you have to ask the question, what is this about? When you ask the question, what is this editorial about? The answer, the editorial is about the 150th anniversary of the India Meteorological Department or IMD. Besides that, and the historical and contemporary roles of IMD. It talks starts with the 150th anniversary, but later it goes to the historical role and the contemporary role of this particular organization. The tone of the editorial. The tone of the editorial is informative. It provides the background information and right now what is happening, and analytical. It analyzes the functions of the organization. Not too many words I have done so many times. Editorials related to IMD, monsoon, and many words are quite familiar. Context is also familiar. Let us see how it goes about. Gearing up for change on IMD and weather analysis having contemporary relevance. Here, gearing up. Gear up means to get ready. To get ready for something, gear up. Gearing up for change. Climate change, we all know, we talk about that. Based on that, even the IMD has to change. On IMD and weather analysis, an important word. What is a singular form of this word? Analysis, singular. What is the plural of this word? Analysis. That aspect is important from the exam point of view. Analysis having contemporary relevance. Contemporary, an important word. Relevance, you all know, I'm sure. Relevant information related to some topic. Relevant. But what is the meaning of contemporary? Contemporary means happening at the same time, existing at the same time. Part of speech adjective, living or occurring or happening at the same time. And you can talk about the combinations contemporary person. He is my contemporary. He was my contemporary. It also goes with events, contemporary event, contemporary time period. Combinations are very important. But what is the main idea of this editorial? India needs. The sentence is in present tense, subject is third person singular, it is in affirmative. We should add S or es to the verb. What is the verb here? Need. Based on that, India needs a region specific plans to improve climate resilience. What does it talk about? National level, one thing, regional level, another thing. The main idea of this editorial, India needs a region specific plans to improve climate resilience. There is one important word. Usually it goes with students. I use this word. While preparing for competitive exams, you should have resilient nature. Resilience, noun form. Resilient, adjective form. Means what? To withstand the problems and while facing the problems, not giving up and emerging victorious. Look at the literal meaning of this word. The ability to withstand adversity and bounce back from difficult life events. You face a lot of problems, you face a lot of hardships, you face them without giving up, and you bounce back. That means you emerge victorious. Then we say you have been resilient. While preparing for competitive exams, you have to be resilient. That is very important. And we have one more. Tarun, good morning. Resilient nature, resilience. Important word you have to remember. Contemporary, also an important word. How does it start? Earlier this week, the India Meteorological Department entered the 150th year of its existence. As I said, this editorial, there are three dimensions. First, it starts with the 150th year of its celebrations. Second, it talks about the historical role of the IMD. Then, finally, coming to the present scenario, it talks about the contemporary role. And it also talks about IMD has been focusing at the national level. It says, no, it has to focus at the regional level. Earlier this week, there's an important phrase you have to remember. The India Meteorological Department, IMD, entered the 150th year of its existence. While at present, it analyzes the entire spectrum of climate Analyze verb analyzes what? Entire spectrum of climate and weather. Here there's one important word. We have got many a time, so I haven't brought the meaning. Spectrum means entire spectrum, entire range of what? Two important concepts, climate, weather. Again, a lot of people don't know the exact difference between the two words. What is climate? What is weather? Weather is something like everyday affair. The humidity, the temperature, all these things. Every day we use the word weather. That is the reason why when you watch TV, you come across weather report. They never say climate report. Climate is a pattern of weather in a particular region for almost 100 years, 200 years. We use the word climate. Here, IMD covers the entire range of climate and weather. For range, we can also use the word spectrum. From cyclones, so what is that entire range? From cyclones to fog, it was conceived in colonial times to probe the mysteries of the southwest monsoon. One word in yellow, conceive. Conceive is a regular verb. It has two entirely different meanings. One meaning in this context to think of a particular idea, to bring out an idea, to produce an idea, we say conceive. It goes with a particular project, a particular idea, a particular thing. And we also use one important expression here, you have to know brainchild. Brainchild. Imagine someone has thought of a particular project. You can say he has conceived the project, one way of expressing. Better, the project is his brainchild. Brainchild means someone has thought of it. And another meaning, entirely different meaning, she has conceived. What does it mean? She has become pregnant. A different meaning altogether. Here it talks about this particular organization was conceived during the colonial times. Colonial times means what? During the British, when Britishers ruled during the colonial times. And what was the purpose? To probe. Probe already we have got many a time. Probe means what? To investigate. Usually it goes with police, probing. Sometimes some people they try to go into the personal life of someone else. They ask a lot of questions. Then also we say, I don't like his probing nature. But generally probe goes with a police investigation. Here investigate the mysteries of the southwest monsoon. Again, if you take India, the peninsular India, you have the monsoon originating southwest. So it is called southwest monsoon. It goes in this direction. The second one we have coming back, that is known as northeast monsoon. So we have southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. This talks about the major monsoon India experiences, the southwest monsoon. When it comes back, it is known as northeast monsoon. It is also known as retreating monsoon, retreat to come back. Southwest monsoon. The needs were practical. The Britishers, during the colonial times, the Britishers conceived this organization IMT. What was the reason behind? What was the objective? The need, what was the need to conceive a particular organization to study the monsoon, especially southwest monsoon? The needs were practical. What does it mean? As such, you cannot make out the needs were practical. The needs of the Britishers were practical. But if you read the next sentence, you can make out the British administration concerned about revenues. Britishers that time they were concerned about revenues, was intimately aware of the influence of the monsoon on the harvest and thus extremely invested in determining whether past observation of the wind, rain and sunshine could be used to predict future torrents and droughts. A lengthy sentence. What does it mean? They established an organization. What was the objective? What was the need? They wanted the revenues, obviously. What is the major source of revenues when it comes to in the past, now also? Agriculture. And if you take Indian agriculture, depends on the monsoon, rain-fed agriculture. So if they wanted to see, we study the past, the pattern, the rainfall, the monsoon, and is it possible to predict the future based on the past studies? They wanted to try it out. It talks about that. Concerned about revenues, not about the people, about the revenues. Again, an important word, concern. A common error, a lot of people say, I would like to meet the concerned person. When they go to some office, they say, I would like to meet the concerned person. Wrong. Concerned person means he has concern for you. You are a stranger. Why will he have concern for you? Here, I would like to meet the person concerned, you have to say. That is the correct expression. I would like to meet the person concerned means person related to that work or person related to that department. Concerned about revenues, was intimately aware of the influence of the monsoon. Because Indian agriculture is rain fed, depends on the monsoon, they know the impact of the monsoon on harvest, and thus extremely invested in determining whether past observations of wind, rain, and sunshine could be used. They wanted to see the possibility could be used, whether we can use, we cannot use. That time, whether they could be used or could not be used to predict future torrents and droughts. Two important words here, torrents. Torrents, part of speech noun, a large amount of water that is moving quickly. Large amount of water moves quickly, we use the word torrent. But here you have to recollect one important idiom, two idioms rather. First one, it is it is raining cats and dogs. If it is raining heavily, what do we say? It is raining cats and dogs. Another expression, it is raining. I hope I'm not blocking your view. In torrents, a lot of students know this, but this is an important one you have to remember. What is the first one? It is raining cats and dogs. Quite familiar. But you can also say it is raining in torrents, means it's raining heavily. Torrents as such means what? Large amount of water moving quickly. One word. And what is the other word over here? Drought. Drought is also a noun. Drought means prolonged period of dryness. Imagine for about 2 months or 3 months during the monsoon time, no rains, completely dry. Then we use the term drought. We also say dry spell that you are going to get after some time. Downpour. Downpour also you can say. Very good. In the years since then, whenever you come across the word since, you have to think of two since and for two tenses, one present perfect, the other one present perfect continuous. The IMD has collected. See, based on that, since then means from the past to the present. We have to use present perfect. The IMD has collected gargantuan, an important word we have got for the first time. What does it mean? Enormous, gargantuan stores of meteorological data that underlie its forecast of the monsoon. On what basis the monsoon is predicted? Based on the data collected over a period of time, since the colonial times. But this is an important word you have to remember. Gargantuan means what? Enormous. Some words are familiar, some words easy to remember. But when you come across vocabulary, a few words they don't stick immediately, means they don't enter immediately. Then you have to write separately, allot some time and practice, you will be able to remember. This is that sort of a word. And why is this word data important? If you take the word data, we have nouns of Latin and Greek origin, and they don't take S or ES. Based on that, datum singular, data plural. Here, data it takes a plural verb, but data is also used as a collective noun. When we use the word data as a collective noun, it takes a singular verb. Next time, don't get confused. Data can take a singular verb, data can take a plural verb. But traditional English, datum singular, data plural. And today, data is used as a collective noun. Collective nouns, we use a singular verb. One such analysis of this data by researchers at the Council on Energy, Environment and Water, CEEW, examines. See here, one such analysis, from here to here, it is a phrase, of this data by researchers at the some organization. But what is the subject here? Analysis. This study, analysis, examines. Sentence is in present tense, affirmative form. We have to add s or es to the verb. One such analysis examines monsoon trends at the subdivisional tahsil level from 1982 to 2022. This is more or less technical information. This finds that monsoon rainfall, they have been studying how long from 1982 to 2022, a decade. Not one decade, rather 3 decades. This finds that monsoon rainfall is increasing in more than half or 55% of India's roughly 4,400 tehsils. About 11% of them saw decreasing rainfall. It talks about after studying from 1982 to 2022, what is that they have observed? Increasing trend in more than half or 55% of India's roughly 4,400 tehsils. About 11% of them saw decrease, but 55% increase. Whenever you come across data, you have to remember focus. You may have a question based on that. In those tehsils, about 68% experienced a reduced rainfall in all 4 monsoon months, while 87% showed a decline during the June and July, crucial for the sowing of kharif crops. So this again talks about what they have observed, what they have found out. And there's one important word we have got many a time: decline. Decline means what? Go down in numbers, quantity, quality, standards. Declining numbers, declining quality, declining standards. A familiar word we have got many a time. Most of these tehsils are in the Indo-Gangetic plains, which contribute to more than half of India's agricultural production, northeastern India and the Indian Himalayan region. And these tehsils, where are they? One, Indo-Gangetic plains, and this Indo-Gangetic plain, usually we use a singular form. Deteriorating also you can say, very good, Aman. We say Indo-Gangetic plain. We don't use a plural form, but doesn't matter. We say it is the most fertile region in our country, which is the most fertile region, Indo-Gangetic plain, the foothills of the Himalayas. That is one region, and it contributes to more than half of India's agricultural production. Because it is very fertile, it contributes how much? More than half of India's agricultural production, which is the backbone of Indian economy traditionally. And remaining two regions, northeastern India and Indian Himalayan region. The Indian Himalayan, again, when you talk about mountain range, you have to recollect, we have to use a definite article, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, that you have to recollect. That is a region. It talks about administrative unit. Who is at Raj? It is an administrative unit. The study also found that 30% of India's districts witnessed several years of deficient rainfall years, and 38% many years of excessive rainfall. There is a problem, paradoxical situation. What is a paradoxical situation here? One is excess rain, the other one is deficiency in rain. 30% of India's districts witnessed several years of deficient rainfall, negative side years, and 38% many years of excessive rainfall, either excessive or deficient. Paradoxical situation. Some tehsils in Rajasthan, Gujarat, central Maharashtra, and parts of Tamil Nadu that historically were dry were also getting wetter. We all know Rajasthan dry, parts of Gujarat dry, and parts of Tamil Nadu also historically dry. They were dry. Now, what is going on, or sometime back, we're also getting wetter, receiving more rainfall. There were also changes underway. Underway means in progress, something that is happening. There were also changes underway in the northeast monsoon. The other monsoon, what is the first one? Major one, southwest monsoon. What is the other one? Northeast monsoon or retreating monsoon. In the northeast monsoon, which sets in during October, November, and December. Southwest monsoon, July, August, September. August is a peak month. Here, Northeast, October, November, December, but primarily impacts peninsular India. Because of this Northeast monsoon, the peninsular India receives the impact. Impact means what? Have a strong effect on someone or something. When you see the word effect, you have to recollect two words. One is the verb form. What is the verb form of this effect? And if you take the other word, effect, it can be a verb, it can be a noun. But generally, we don't use it as a verb, we use it as a noun. So, based on that, impacts strong effect, used as a noun. The northeast monsoon rain has increased by more than 10% in the past decade, 12 to 2022, in approximately 80% of tehsils in Tamil Nadu, 44% in Telangana, and 39% in Andhra Pradesh. Whenever you come across data, do remember we have two types of passages, one conceptual, the other factual. Factual, you may think, oh, this is a bit difficult, but they are easy because if at all the passage has a lot of facts and figures, at least a few questions are framed on the facts and figures. You have to remember the percentage, you have to remember the states. It talks about three states. What are the three states here? Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. And what happened exactly? The northeast monsoon rain usually it impacts the peninsular India. What are the four states we have in the peninsular India? Karnataka, traditionally four, now we have five. Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Now Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. For the percentage you have to remember, the southwest monsoon accounts for nearly 76% of India's annual rainfall, with about 11% from the northeast monsoon. So when it comes to the percentage, how much we get from the southwest, from the northeast, southwest is the major one, 76% of India's annual rainfall, with about 11% from the northeast monsoon. Northeast retreating monsoon does not make the major impact. It is a southwest monsoon that makes the impact. That India's monsoons are increasingly prone to long dry spells. Here it talks about India's monsoons. What is happening? India's monsoons are increasingly prone to long dry spells. Prone to, likely to suffer, liable. Here, look at this, likely or liable to suffer from something. Usually it goes with diseases. Prone to a particular disease, prone to a particular disaster. Earthquakes also you can use. Increasingly prone to long dry spells. I told you drought, dry spell, one and the same. For some region, 2 months or 3 months, no rains, then we say dry spell or it results in drought. Likely to, exactly. And punctuated by torrential wet spells. This is a paradoxical situation. On the one hand, dry spells, and these dry spells punctuated by means on and off. We come across the wet spells, dry spells opposite wet spells, is well documented, though how much of it can be explained by natural variability and how much from global warming is an active area of research. We don't know why it is happening, why the dry spells, why they have been punctuated with or by wet spells. Could be a natural phenomenon or could be because of climate change. That has to be, one has to do research and find out. This is an active area of research. We cannot decide just like that. While revenue extraction guided colonial interest, what was the interest of the Britishers? Basically, their interest revenues. While a revenue extraction guided colonial interest in weather at the regional levels, such analysis have a new contemporary relevance. They had a different objective. They thought of revenues. But now the editorial says such analysis have a new contemporary relevance. The main idea is being reiterated. Contemporary relevance, what is that? We'll see. This is to make region specific plans. National level, something general. Region specific, people will get benefited. This is to make region specific plans to improve climate resilience and channel necessary funds and resources. Because of monsoon, proper monsoon, no negative impact. But untimely monsoon or excess rainfall, definitely a negative impact. How to meet? We have to be resilient. We have to face that. Second, we have to use the funds. We need funds and resources to fight back. This sentence talks about this is to make region specific plans. Why should we make region specific plans? To improve climate resilience and channel necessary funds and resources based on the predictions. Prioritizing regional and sub-district forecasts over national ones. This is what I have been talking about. There are two areas, one national level prediction, the other regional and sub-district level prediction. Now the editorial opines sub-district level, regional level important, not at the national level. Prioritizing, we have to prefer regional and sub-district forecast over national ones. Would be a commendable step forward by the government. An important word, commendable. Commendable means what? Praiseworthy, worthy of high praise. Someone does a job, a very good job, then we say commendable job. What are the combinations here? Commendable takes words like one, commendable job, commendable work, commendable research. These are the combinations. Here, commendable step, one more combination. Commendable step forward by the government. Do remember when you listen to the analysis, the combinations are very important. Comprehension. Now we have questions. That's all about the editorial. How does it end? Prioritizing regional and sub-district forecasts over national ones would be a commendable step forward by the government. So it says they have to prioritize. The priority, the focus should be on regional and sub-district level, not on the national level. And if at all they do that, that would be a commendable step forward when it comes to the action taken by the government. Let us go to questions based on comprehension skill. I want you guys to respond now. Praiseworthy, yes, Aman. Please answer these questions. What is the primary focus of the editorial? Look at all the options. The history of the India Meteorological Department, the impact of colonialism on weather analysis, a contemporary analysis of monsoon trends in India, the global impact of climate change on weather patterns. So, what is the answer here? Look at the four options and choose the correct option. Primary focus. Whenever you try to read the questions based on the passage, which test your comprehension skill, focus on the key words. Aman says C. And who is this? Monica says D. The history of the India meteorological, it starts with that, but that is not the primary focus. What are the key words here? Primary focus. The impact of colonialism on weather analysis, no. A contemporary analysis of monsoon trends in India seems to be correct. The global impact of climate change on weather patterns, no, it is not about the global impact of climate change. Answer is C. One more student says, Tarun says C and Shiva also says C. Very good. Answer is C. Please answer. If you get it wrong, don't feel bad. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't get it right. But with the same spirit, try to answer other questions. Why was the India Meteorological Department originally established during colonial times? Why was the IMD originally established during colonial times? The same question we can also say, why did the Britishers establish IMD? Same question, rephrasing. Why did the Britishers establish the IMD? To study global weather patterns, Please mention the question number when you answer, then I can respond. I can give the correct feedback. To study global weather patterns, to explore mysteries of the southwest monsoon for agricultural and revenue reasons, to predict the onset of winter in northern regions, to monitor seismic activity in the Indian subcontinent. Seismic means earthquakes, not relevant to this. Please mention the question number. That's a request from my side. Tarun says 2B. Aman also 2B and Maunik also 2B. Very good. What is B here? To explore mysteries of the southwest monsoon for agricultural, but more than agricultural, they were more interested in revenue reasons. Beyond any doubt, answer is B. Very good. I appreciate that. Question number 3. According to the Council on Energy, Environment and Water CEEW analysis, what percentage of India's terraces experienced increasing monsoon rainfall from 1982 to 2022? As I said, if the passage has a lot of data, facts and figures, a few questions based on the facts and figures, the data. This is a question based on from 1982 to 2022 experienced increasing monsoon rainfall. What is the percentage? Third one, someone says, Aman says D. First one to respond. And Tarun also says D. Very good. Answer is 55%. Clearly mentioned in the Maunik also says D. Very good. Perfect. Please go to question number 4. Which regions in India were mentioned experiencing changes in the northeast monsoon according to the CEW analysis? Be careful, northeast monsoon. And northeast monsoon impact you see on the peninsular India. So you have to consider only the southern states. Based on that, Western Himalayas, Punjab, no. Indo-Gangetic Plains also north, no. Southern states like I mentioned 3 states, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Hold this one. Central Maharashtra and Gujarat, no. Answer is what? C is the answer. Because northeast monsoon makes an impact on the peninsular India or southern India. And we have to consider only the southern states. Only one option has the southern states, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. C is the answer. Very good. Yes. Go to the last one. What is the editorial stance? Stance means a stand taken by the editorial on the government's approach to weather forecasting. The stand taken by the editorial on government's approach to weather forecasting. It advocating for prioritizing national forecasts over regional ones. No. Suggesting the government prioritize regional and sub-district forecasts over national ones. Clearly mentioned. The editorial opines the government should focus on regional and sub-district level, not at the national level. Hold B. Encouraging the government to focus on global climate, no. Recommending the reduction of meteorological, no. So what is the answer here? B is the answer. The government has to prioritize, it has to prefer regional and sub-district level forecasts over national level. That's all for today. I'm glad 4 or 5 students have responded. I'm very happy. I want the number to increase. The other day I brought a lot of exercises. There were no students to respond. Though a few were there, they did not respond. Today it has been pretty good, and I prefer interactive sessions. When you respond, it goes very smoothly. You can enjoy, I can enjoy. And tomorrow is Sunday. The Hindu does not publish editorial. So tomorrow don't expect the editorial. No editorials on Sunday. I'll see you guys on Monday. But Monday, based on this, I'll bring all the important words and exercise you have to recollect and consolidate. I'll bring new exercises, error location, parajumble, and maybe idioms, phrasal verbs. Try to answer.